morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and productive day. And in the news this morning, schools are still to reopen on September 1, will close on Election Day. The Ministry of Education has advised that the schools will reopen as scheduled on September 1, despite a general election being slated for September 3. The ministry says schools are to be used as polling stations will close at noon on September 2, while all schools will close on September 3 to facilitate the elections. Schools will resume the following day using a mix of online and face-to-face teaching, with a full face-to-face resumption on September 5. Subsequently, the Christmas holidays will be from December 18, 2025 to January 4, 2026. In an advisory to the schools a day after Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced the election date, the ministry said the decision regarding the reopening of schools was taken in consultation with the Jamaica Teachers Association, the National Parent-Teacher Association of Jamaica, and other education stakeholders, and the Electoral Office of Jamaica. KD Knight threatens the lawsuit over manipulated recording played at a JLP rally. Retired legislator KD Knight is threatening a defamation suit against the Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton and the Jamaica Labour Party for the playing of what Knight says was a manipulated recording at a Sunday's JLP mass rally, which falsely suggested he has no confidence that the People's National Party President Mark Golding can lead Jamaica. In a media release on Monday evening, Knight said the audio was a malicious fabrication. I categorically state that I have never at any time, in any forum, or under any circumstances made statements suggesting Mark Golding is unfit to be Prime Minister. The recording is clearly altered, and the words are a deliberate concoction designed to deceive the public and tarnish my reputation, Knight said. He further stated that the recording is a desperate and reckless act of political sabotage by the JLP, and that such tactics are not only unethical but potentially criminal. Let me be unequivocal, the recording is a lie. Every syllable attributed to me, Comrade Mark Golding's unsuitability to be Prime Minister, is a lie. This is not a mere political gamesmanship, it is a deliberate assault on truth and democratic integrity, Knight said. He said he has instructed his attorneys to pursue immediate legal action against the Jamaica Labour Party, Tufton, and all parties involved in the creation and the dissemination of the recording. I will seek the fullest redress in law for this calculated attempt to manipulate public opinion and damage my credibility, Knight said. Montego West village mourns for cop's wife killed in attack. Residents of Montego West village were on Monday struggling to cope with the death of Latoya Stevenson, who was fatally shot Saturday night during an attack on Reading Main Road in St. James that left her cop husband and young son injured. There was also grief at Choco Caribbean Adventures, where she was human resources business partner. We are deeply saddened by the tragic shooting of our colleague Latoya Stevenson and the members of her family, Choco Executive Deputy Chairman John Biles told the news. Our team is devastated. This senseless act of violence is the type of crime we must work together to eradicate from our country forever, he added. Biles noted that while the incident came at a time when major crimes are trending down, it is a reminder that more must be done. As a people, we must commit to staying the course with our crime fighters, making a change in how we work together with the focus on the crime-free society we want, and bring part of the change ourselves so that such tragedies never occur again, Biles insisted. Tears of grief have been flowing freely inside the gated community in which Stevenson lived with her family. She was an active member of the Citizens Association, whose other members spoke glowingly of her and the void her death has left. We have literally been crying from yesterday morning. Yesterday we had our football event and we had a moment of silence for her, one association member told the news on Monday. None of the residents interviewed wished to be identified by name. It's been just the tears, couldn't be held back, the woman added. According to the association members, Stevenson, who lived in the community for more than 5 years with her spouse and a child, was part of the board's event, planning and fundraising committee and was regularly seen around the community center. She utilizes our park every so often because she exercises there. She takes her son there. Everybody would see her. She would walk with different persons, said an association member. One of my neighbors, she would be walking with that neighbor and he's distraught. When you see a man crying yesterday when I called him and advised him of the death, she continued. The attack on the family, she said, has touched everyone in the community, whether they knew Stevenson or not, because it feels so close to home. It's a really sad day for us because she's someone that we worked with, so we are pretty shaken by the entire ordeal, one association member said. She also sought to provide insight into the life of the 36-year-old woman. She was a quiet person. She is a very willing person. She gets along well with everyone. She has a calm spirit. She normally takes her walk in the community center around the jogging trail. She's always with her son, she pointed out. The community has sought solace in prayer. We are a praying community, and that is the beauty about Montego West village. We are a praying community, and we have left it all with the Almighty, to be honest, said one resident. We are praying for a resolution. We are praying for something to happen in terms of the conviction of the perpetrator. We are praying that the family will find a little ease. We know they won't get over it anytime soon because with the death, it takes time, she continued. Encouragement is also being offered for Stevenson's son and the spouse who are receiving medical care. We're praying, the entire community is praying for both the young boy and his dad. We're really hoping that they pull through, said an association member. According to the police, 2 suspects in Saturday night's attack were killed during alleged confrontations with the security forces Monday morning. One of the deceased is said to be Andre Reed, otherwise called the Little Zulu, the leader of the top junglist or Catan Defensive Force gang based in Catherine Mount, St. James. It is understood that about 5 a.m., police were on an intelligence-driven operation in Shooters Hill, St. Andrew, when they were fired upon by Reed. The cops reportedly returned the fire and Reed was shot. He was transported to the Kingston Public Hospital where he was pronounced dead. An AK-47 assault rifle with a magazine affixed and containing 5 rounds was reportedly seized. The other suspect, who remains unidentified, was reportedly killed during a police operation in St. James. The news sources indicated that police believe Reed was the mastermind behind the Saturday evening's gun attack on the family. Women say murder suspect was a Gallus, not a gunman. Although the police say that Andre Little Zulu Reed was the alleged leader of the KDF gang, his loved ones said he had a clean slate and was not a gangster. The 33-year-old was fatally shot in an alleged confrontation with the police early yesterday morning in 7 miles of Shooters Hill, St. Andrew. Reports are that at 5 a.m., police acting on information swooped down on a premises in Shooters Hill where an alleged confrontation ensued. Reed was one of 2 men cut down by lawmen yesterday in separate operations as the police continue to pursue those responsible for the deadly attack on a colleague and his family near Reading in St. James on Saturday. In the first incident, Lindell Gray, otherwise called the Frass or Sassafras, was shot and killed during an alleged confrontation in the Anchovy police area about 1 a.m. The police say they recovered an illegal firearm at the scene. The Independent Commission of Investigations is probing both incidents. Yesterday, when the news visited Shooters Hill, the police were still processing the scene. A group of females who sat a short distance away from where the incident unfolded said the only thing that Reed was guilty of was being a gallus. The Monday is all about the girls, and the world know that. Right now, couple of who they or so probably did there with him, but can't talk about it because them know I saw the thing set. Him wasn't a killer, him was a gallus, a woman said. We used to there with him one time, but him have to run because in private parts too hot man. But him was a nice and jovial person, so any woman would want him. The women were also adamant that Reed could not have been involved in the attack on the policeman as he was in Shooter's Hill. Him couldn't kill nobody over the weekend because I right here saw him there with the entire time, like the police tell, the woman said. A bloodied mattress and a pool of blood on the floor of Reed's bedroom were still visible. Several females were observed weeping, among them Reed's girlfriend. She said she and Reed were awakened from their sleep by barking dogs, followed by heavy pounding on their door. Me hear a banging on the door, and me know a police bang, but me still ask who it is, and them say police. Them ask who me in here, me say me and my man. When me open the window, them pushing them gun, so me pull the door, she said. She said seconds after opening the door, she was pulled outside by the lawman, after which explosions were heard. Andre ended up sit down on the bed. As me pull the door, one of them hold on palm me hand and say come, and me say hold on there, but them draw me out, and by the time me bend the corner, me hear the shot them, she said. Like the other women, she said Reed could not have been involved in the St. James shooting of the cop and his family, as she was with him in Shooter's Hill all day on Saturday. There was no shootout. Them said them find rifle and him a shoot back, but that was a lie, she said. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.